Federal approval of the proposed Ileana Corridor toll road is being delayed by environmental concerns. The proposed roadway would connect Interstate 65 near Lowell, Indiana, to Interstate 55 near Wilmington, Illinois. According to Keith Benman of the Northwest Indiana Times, the delay was announced this week during a meeting of the Northwestern Indiana Regional Planning Commission. Indiana Department of Transportation Project Manager James Earle told the commission that the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service has concerns about how the highway's construction and operation could affect local endangered species. A lawsuit filed on behalf of the Medellin National Tallgrass Prairie in Illinois is another potential holdup for federal agencies. INDOT officials hope to receive the federal record of decision needed to begin construction in May. However, a decision is now expected by September. Earle says that could push back other aspects of the project by several months. Environmental concerns of a different kind forced the evacuation of hundreds this week in downtown LaPorte. Tuesday afternoon, construction crews working in the parking lot behind the LaPorte City Hall ruptured a natural gas line, sending a jet of vaporized natural gas spewing into the air. Authorities quickly began evacuating an area that extended from Lincoln Way to Harrison Street and Indiana Avenue to Monroe Street. LaPorte City Hall, homes, businesses, and apartment buildings in the vicinity remained closed to non-emergency personnel throughout much of the day. NIPSCO crews dispatched to the scene worked to isolate and repair the rupture. Citizens were finally given the all-clear to return to their homes and offices after 8 p.m. The region's largest gas and electric service provider says it plans to continue programs designed to increase energy efficiency. NIPSCO has submitted a plan to the Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission to extend the availability of electric energy efficiency programs. Offerings such as appliance recycling and home energy assessments were previously available under the statewide Energizing Indiana program, which was discontinued by the state legislature this year. Nick Meyer, Director of Communications for NIPSCO, says under the new plan, customers will see only minimal changes.
Many of the same popular programs will be available. So for instance, the air conditioning cycling program, the home energy assessment with some weatherization components, rebates. There's a number of things that will be available, will continue to be available for customers.
Myers says final approval of the new program is pending and current programs will be available through the end of this year. There will be another ambulance serving the people of South Porter County, thanks to a grant from the Federal Emergency Management Agency. This week, Indiana Congressman Pete Visclosky announced that the Hebron Volunteer Fire Department would be the recipient of more than $15,000 from FEMA's Assistance to Firefighters grant program. The money will be used to make improvements and add an addition to the volunteer firefighters' existing building. Hebron Town Council President Don Ensign says the new addition will enable the fire department to partner with Porter Regional Hospital to obtain and house a second ambulance at the new and improved facility. An issue we brought you last week about long delays for veteran medical patients is now getting a lot of time and concern from Congress. Reporter Hillary Powell was following the story, and she joins us now with more.
This week, the Senate passed a bipartisan bill to allow veterans to go to private providers if they face long travel or wait times at Veterans Affairs facilities. This after an internal audit from the VA released on Monday found some facilities built to serve Hoosier veterans are failing that task. Marine veteran Anthony Dawson won 3 Purple Hearts in service of his country, which he says is payment enough for his treatment at the Veterans Affairs Adam Benjamin Jr. Outpatient Center in Crown Point.
I go to the VA because I'm retired, and basically the illnesses that I have are wartime connected. I don't want to say the insurance is free because it's not. Freedom isn't free.
The Vietnam War veteran says he has never experienced a long wait at Adam Benjamin, where he goes for medicine and primary care as a 100% disabled patient.
Adam Benjamin is a breeze. It's 5 minutes from my house. I'm in and out. Even my wife comments about how polite they are.
But a nationwide access audit released Monday from the Department of Veterans Affairs shows some Hoosier servicemen and women aren't afforded the same speedy care.
In my home state of Indiana, confirmed audit findings show that veterans endured unacceptably long wait times, with some Hoosier veterans never even receiving an appointment. This is unacceptable.
Senator Dan Coates spoke on the Senate floor this week in support of the Sanders-McCain Veterans Bill. Senate leaders approved the bill, which will provide emergency funding to hire more doctors and nurses, authorize 26 new VA facilities, and allow VA authority to refer veterans to private care.
The VA needs a change of culture. Too many bureaucrats view our veterans as a list of numbers, rather than the heroes worthy of our very best care.
The audit shows 99% of all appointments were scheduled within 30 days at Adam Benjamin. The average wait time for new patient primary care appointments was 40 days, and nearly 43 days for a new patient to secure a mental health appointment.
I mean, they have to be taken care of, and I believe that they need probably more psychiatrists. It seems like everybody has some kind of PTSD problem.
As a result of the audit, the Adam Benjamin Clinic was flagged for further review. It is one of the 112 clinics which require further investigation, according to a June 11th letter from Acting VA Secretary Sloan Gibson. Adam Benjamin spokesperson Kevin Harris says in an email to Lakeshore, the facility has not been contacted by the VA Office of Inspector General and has not been instructed to launch a formal administrative investigation.
A torn rotator cuff right now.
Clinic Director Jill Carley says a 14-day waiting window for new patients is a common goal set and met at the clinic.
We have no patients who are waiting longer than 14 days. All new patients are seen within 14 days.
The VA audit found the 14-day wait time performance target for new appointments was, quote, not attainable. The Sanders-McCain bill eliminates wait times as an employee performance measure used to determine bonuses for VA employees.
Our patients love this clinic.
On this day, Dawson is receiving a routine dental checkup, and he says he hopes the audit will be a wake-up for VA facilities to get veterans off wait lists and into clinics.
I certainly hope it's at the point now where the American people will totally be fed up with any misconduct given to the veterans.
VA officials say they are continuing to reach out to veterans awaiting care. Senator Coates is pressing the Justice Department to determine if criminal charges are warranted based on audit findings. Well, is starting a business in the region in the current economy a bust or a boon? Steve Walsh talks to area business leaders to find out.
Unemployment is still declining, but much of the region is still above the national average and state average for that matter. To talk about the state of the economic development in Northwest Indiana, we have two business leaders. Heather Ennis has just taken over as president and CEO of the Northwest Indiana Forum, and Dave Ryan is executive director of the Lakeshore Chamber of Commerce, which covers Hammond and East Chicago. Welcome to both of you.
Thank you.
Good to be here.
So, has Northwest Indiana come out of the recession? Are we free and clear at this point? Well, Heather, let's start with Heather.
You know, we're obviously seeing upticks in the markets, but we're as slow as the country is to come out. It's not going gangbusters for anyone, but we're seeing new development come in. Activity level is increasing dramatically, more and more activity, but economic development is a game of inches, so nothing happens overnight. Investments don't happen overnight. People are coming back and they're ready to invest, but that investment takes time and planning, and so it's not a quick snap your fingers process.
And it takes longer. You know, we're a manufacturing state. I think it takes longer for us to recover from a recession, but we can see signs of it slowly coming out. This year's much better than last year. And, you know, we still have a large dependence on steel. You know, that's still our backbone. But, you know, we've diversified our economy to some degree, and it is slow in coming back, but it's coming back.
Is there a lot of fear out there at this point? It's still, even now?
I don't see the fear in our, you know, we have 500 and some members in our Chamber of Commerce, from the small business to the very large, and I don't see the fear, not like it was a couple of years ago. A couple of years ago, there was very much an apprehensive state, you know, in the business community, but it's not that now.
Heather, what do we need? What does Northwest Indiana need? Some areas of Northwest Indiana still have double-digit unemployment. What would bring that down?
We need to continue to diversify our industries, obviously, bring in more advanced manufacturing. We're seeing more and more of that come online, but and we need to continue to add skills to our workforce. There are, some jobs that are out there that are going unfulfilled because we just don't have the qualified workforce to be able to fulfill those. So we need to continue to build on that skills gap and make sure that people are getting education that they can utilize in the jobs that are available in this market.
And you would see, you'd be surprised at the number of inquiries that come from the state and also through NIPSCO and through our different areas of leads. What we have to do is be ready for these leads and be ready to respond to those. And one of the things that we've done is create the Lake County Economic Alliance, which is a new group formed about a year ago, and with a board of directors headed by Joel Gorelick, former president of People's Bank, to more or less be a one-stop shop to work with Heather, to work with NIPSCO, to work with the Indiana Economic Development Corp to respond to leads.
Heather, you were with Duneland before you were with the forum, so you know the area pretty well. When it comes to working with the state, do you get enough help from the state at this point?
Oh, they're a great partner. We work very closely with them, and things roll up to us, and then we roll up to the state as a whole. We utilize their database system in order to put our projects in so that anybody that's coming to look at the state as an opportunity can look at our properties. As Dave said, we have to be prepared when these opportunities come because they want to turn more quickly than it's a hurry up and wait kind of game. So perhaps they've been sitting on this idea of wanting to expand or wanting to look at a new location for 2 years, and then they all of a sudden decide it's time to pull the trigger, so we have to be ready right just like that.
Well, that's where we're going to have to leave it. Heather Ennis with Northwest Indiana Forum, and then Dave Ryan with the Lakeshore Chamber of Commerce. Thanks to both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
One industry that's growing both here in the region and nationwide centers on a new use for a product that's been in most homes for decades. Compressed natural gas fuels over 14 million vehicles worldwide, and currently about 100,000 vehicles in the United States. I spoke with alternative fuels experts who say CNG is poised to make a major impact on the country's fleet fueling market.
Adam Goldstein says when it comes to new technology, few businesses are willing to risk being the first in an untested market.
There are the early adopters who want to grab the new technology, who want to prove it out, and the others wait for that to happen.
Goldstein is the managing partner of Stog USA, an outfitter of aftermarket CNG systems for light-duty vehicles. CNG is compressed natural gas, an alternative fuel that is growing rapidly here in the crossroads of America.
The biggest users of fuel in any municipality, in our experience, has been the police department. There are several different, what they call PPVs, police pursuit vehicles. We offer systems for the Chevrolet Impala PPV, Chevrolet Caprice PPV, the Ford Taurus-based Interceptor, the Explorer-based Interceptor.
Experts say burning CNG releases fewer emissions than gasoline and is currently cheaper than traditional fuels. That has municipal fleets like the South Bend Public Transportation Company, or Transpo, ready to make the switch.
We have 16 heavy-duty transit coaches on order that will be in the South Bend area by the end of 2014 with a CNG station that we plan on starting in operation in January of 2015. We did a great job in hedging our fuel for 2014, paying an average price of $3.05 a gallon, but when we can take our fuel cost down to about $1 a gallon, it's kind of a no-brainer.
Cities and towns aren't the only ones discovering the return on investment of alternative fuels. Carl Lissick, executive director of South Shore Clean Cities, says private companies with large fleets of heavy-duty vehicles often benefit from switching from gasoline or diesel to fuels like CNG.
This is growing, and it's growing very fast, and every day we're getting a call from a fleet that's looking at implementing compressed natural gas, alternative fuels, propane.
Ozinga, a locally owned and operated concrete business, began converting its vehicles in 2011.
And we started off actually with a couple trucks just to kind of test the market and see how it went. From there, we've really grown to see the powerful potential that natural gas has. Fast forward to today, we're up over 100 and have plans to convert our entire fleet over to CNG. We utilize the station here in Gary for our own fleet, as well as open it to the public so that other fleets and the general public as well can come in and fuel up.
The company profile now includes Ozinga Energy, a division which helps design and construct CNG fueling stations. Proponents of alternative fuels, like Brian Houston of Clean Energy, say developing the infrastructure to support the technology is key to future growth.
I don't think you'll ever see CNG or LNG stations on every corner like you do a gasoline or a diesel stations, but I think it's going to be a lot more mainstream.
Building up the public infrastructure is huge. It's just going to totally accelerate the adoption. If the more stations there are, the more availability of the gas there is, the better we're going to be able to get the process going.
Experts agree no one fuel is the solution for all vehicles, but introducing more choice in the market can bring a range of benefits.
We're seeing, the quality of life improving because our air quality is improved. We're seeing the cost of, operating here in northern Indiana going down. It provides jobs, it cleans up our air, and it's just a better way of doing things. And natural gas is an American fuel, so it's a good thing for America.
Indiana's 15th CNG station is scheduled to open in Greensburg in July. Well, a group of local artists and crafters are also going green by turning trash into treasure. John Kane has more in this edition of Eye on the Arts.
Hi, joining me for this edition of Eye on the Arts is Spiro Batistatos, President and CEO of the South Shore Convention and Visitors Authority. Thank you for being here, Spiro.
John, a great pleasure as always to join you.
Yes, well, and you have my favorite exhibit of the year up right now.
A lot of people notice Trash to Treasure.
Trash to Treasure,
our
right.
longest running exhibit that started in 2000 when we opened the building. It's in a partnership with the Lake County Solid Waste District. And this year it's called Renewing the Region, and we have an exhibit hall full of either refurbished or recycled material used for arts and decor.
So lots of artists are involved in this
There's
show.
a number of them, absolutely.
Yeah. So what's your favorite piece in the show?
I've already bought it. It's a table that's going to go out of my deck.
Yeah?
It says "This Way to the Lake" on it, and it's ready to go.
What's it made out of?
Wood. It's been completely repurposed and refurbished, and it's a great looking piece. It's got a little beachy feel, kind of that worn wood look on the beach, and it's going to be a great piece.
That's nice. That's good that you patronized your own exhibit.
You have to. You do it all the time. I've watched that collection of art in your house grow.
I know, but I'm crazy, but you know, that's different. That's different. Well, that's fantastic. So how long does this show run?
This runs through July 17th. We're open every day between 8 and 6. It's free, of course, to the public, as almost all of our things are in the visitor center.
Yeah.
We've had a very good turnout and been featured. One of the young ladies, the youngest artist on display, made a dress for her doll out of the plastic sleeves of newspaper bags. And so she's on display in the very center part of the room, and it was a great, great little thing to see.
Yeah, I love that repurposing. I think that's it's a fantastic trend. It's been going on quite a while now in art, and so many really interesting things come out of it.
Well, there's so many more creative people than myself, and they look at something and they see the potential in it, and they turn it into something that you look at and go, that's really cool.
Right,
and
exactly.
This is the kind of exhibit where you see that creativity right here from our own people along the South Shore on display. So come by, pick up a great piece for the house or for some part of the house. And whether you're a guy and you need a great piece for your man cave, or a lady decorating the house, come out, you're going to find something there for everyone.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so really quickly, you have a special guest this summer at the Air Show.
The National Anthem girl is stopping by to kick things off on Saturday. Her goal is to sing in all 50 states this year, the National Anthem, doing a great job. She really helps out the troops that are coming home. The Air Show, July 11, 12, 13. Not necessarily artistic, but there is some art in the sky, so we'll get that in there.
They make pretty lines.
They do make pretty lines out of smoke oil.
Okay.
And so I hope to see you and all of our friends out there.
Thanks, Spiro.
Great to see you, John.
Thank you for watching. We'll be back again next week with another edition of Eye on the Arts.
It's a sport that people of all ages can enjoy. All you need is a tiny boat and a paddle. I got my feet more than a little wet with the Northwest Indiana Paddling Association on this week's Jump in the Lake. We're out in Michigan City for an event that you hold yearly. This is how many years have you done this one?
This will be the 8th annual.
This is the 8th annual trail
Creek
Fun float.
Fun Float.
Yes.
And luau theme today, so we've all wearing our leis and our grass skirts. Tell me a little bit about the Paddling Association.
Northwest Indiana Paddling Association started in 2009. We're a nonprofit corporation. We do paddling, education, and stewardship. So, for example, Trail Creek here, we've adopted that and help keep it clean and maintain the Trail Creek for paddling.
And you are, as you said, an educator as well in the art of paddling. So people who don't have any experience in a canoe or a kayak or anything, they can come to you guys and learn the ropes, correct?
Absolutely. We help educate adults. So we give some classes, usually 4 or 5 classes during the summer. We find that if you get out with groups of people and get to know people, we've got really great community, really have developed into a strong friendship network, and you'll find that you'll get out and paddle a heck of a lot more than if you go out and try and do it by yourself.
Well, let's get out there and paddle with some of these people.
Yeah, that sounds good. Kayaking is a pretty simple activity. I think it's almost second nature for most people. Your feet will go forward here. Here's your cockpit. Just kind of sit upright, and then kind of the right technique would be with your paddle. Rather than paddling with your arms like this, it's more using your hips and your core through here. So, and that's pretty much it. So
let's give it a try. I'm going to take my mic off here because otherwise someone's going to yell at me. You can see more of our Jump in the Lake kayaking segment on lakeshorepublicmedia.org. If you go to the web, it's an expanded version. You can find out a little bit more about the Northwest Indiana Paddling Association. A great group of people. I had so much fun.
Yeah, about how long was the paddle?
I was out there from before 8 o'clock. I don't think I pulled back in till afternoon. And Brian, the cameraman, missed a couple. I actually was fairly graceful through much of it, and then I fell spectacularly at the far end of the course.
It's got to be a rites of passage, though.
Well, you know what? I had gotten into a kayak, but apparently had never gotten out, and fell back into the boat, fortunately. And then halfway down the stream, I was trying to duck underneath a log, and the current's taking me a little faster than I want to, so I duck. Perfectly. I just forgot to take my hand down. I had my paddle like this and got stuck to the tree in the middle of the creek with many people laughing at me. It was lovely. But no, it was a great time. I had so much fun.
Really cute.
Hey, what are you guys working on for next week?
Well, I'm going to be at IUN for their Teaching the Whole Child Summit and talking a little bit about ways to improve education both here in the region and across the United States.
Hillary?
I'm also going to be talking to a local businesswoman who is really unique in this region and throughout the state for what she does for a living.
Oh, excellent. I can't wait to hear more about that program. Plus, we like to invite our viewers to give us some feedback and tell us what they like to see, right?
Definitely. Always. You can always reach us at tvfeedback@lakeshorepublicmedia.org. We are constantly looking to hear your questions, concerns, comments, and you can also reach us at Twitter @Lakeshore Report, or you can reach us on Facebook. We have a Facebook page, Lakeshore Report, as well. So keep sending us your comments and questions.
We'd like to thank you so much for joining us. We hope to see you next time on Lakeshore Report.